the NFL season has concluded, so we can now do our last and final AFC North update video. We're going to start off with the Bengals and Ravens game. The Bengals taking this one 27-16. Baltimore was trotting out Anthony Brown in this one, and he played probably about as expected, which is to say not very good. The defense turning into offense for the Bengals early as they went up 17-0 pretty early on in the second quarter, but 14 of those points were off of Anthony Brown interceptions. So the defense building some momentum early against the Ravens' third-string quarterback, and the Bengals offense taking advantage of those opportunities there. The Ravens would get a drive going shortly after, but was stuffed on a 4th and 1 in field goal range. You figure you've already made the playoffs. It's 4th and 1. You're down 17. Might as well go for it there. But the Ravens do get the ball back, and they finish off a touchdown drive this time before halftime off of a Kenyon Drake run to cut the lead to 10 late in the half. Drew Chrisman with a coffin corner punt, pinning the Ravens deep with less than a minute to go in the second quarter, and that led to Anthony Brown getting strip sacked by Hendrickson, recovered by Joseph Osai in the end zone for a defensive touchdown. The game is 24-7 Bengals at the half, and that was pretty much the rest of the game was pretty much a formality, and a bunch of field goals getting kicked to get the final score to 27-16. And so with this win, the Bengals definitively take the AFC North crown with a record of 12-4 because of the canceled game against Buffalo. A bit of a throwback record back to when seasons were 16 games long and, in my opinion, objectively better. The Ravens finishing second in the AFC North at 10-7. Both of these teams making the playoffs, and this game was just kind of seemed like a warm-up because next week will be the same game in the same place in Cincinnati, just with incredibly higher stakes this time in the wild card round in the playoffs. Ravens obviously hoping for Lamar Jackson to be healthy enough to play in this one. Last I read that John Harbaugh said that there really was no update on Lamar Jackson's status, so that is still something to be determined for this game, and obviously a huge deal. And I think whether Lamar Jackson plays or not, they're going to need their defense to step up and have a banger either way, as even with Lamar Jackson in at quarterback, this offense under Greg Roman has been a bit of start and stop and has definitely been prone to stopping in very crucial moments. So they'll probably need the defense to step up and force some issues for Joe Burrow and that Bengals offense early and often. This Bengals team, however, rolling with all sorts of momentum, losing their first two games they probably shouldn't have, and then just absolutely steamrolling through the rest of their schedule, it seems like, looking like a Super Bowl contender heading into the playoffs. I would say getting hot at the right time, but it's been all throughout, ever since their bad start. It's really been the whole season they've been on a tear. So we'll see how this one plays out next week in the wild card round, but it's looking really good for the Bengals. I have a hard time picking them to lose against the Ravens in the wild card game, but that's why you play the games. You don't just look at spreadsheets. You play the games and see how it turns out. So we'll go to the next game, Steelers against the Browns. Steelers taking this one 28-14 at home. Pittsburgh was still in playoff contention heading into the game. They needed to win this game, plus a Buffalo win, plus a Jets win. I did already cover this game on my channel. Steelers taking care of their own business at home against the Browns to do their part to get into the playoffs. This Browns team kind of looking like they knew that the season was over and they were really just trying to get their starting quarterback reps. However, the Dolphins would win the battle of third-string quarterbacks and three-point scoring plays against the Jets to advance to the postseason, eliminating the Steelers in the process. The Steelers finishing third in the AFC North with a 9-8 record. I don't think it's all doom and gloom for them, even though they missed the playoffs. However, it was another winning season when it looked like that was going to be dead in the water after starting 2-6. I think George Pickens looks like the real deal that they drafted him to be. He looks like he's going to be an elite wide receiver. I think Kenny Pickett did start to show some legit flashes near the end of the season, but I don't think he's anywhere near a sure thing. I don't think I've seen enough consistent amazing play from him to say that he's definitely a bona fide franchise quarterback, a bona fide starter long-term in this league, but I do feel like he did a better job of taking care of the ball as the season went. And again, if he can really develop that chemistry with George Pickens, then I think that can be a dangerous combo if they do capitalize on that. I think a defense with TJ Watt on it is always going to be dangerous no matter what the other pieces are. If they have TJ Watt, I feel like they can that can be a game-breaking player at any point in a game. And I do think Najee Harris can be a serious threat if they do decide to really commit to upgrading their offensive line. Although Matt Canada sticking around has a lot of Steelers fans confused and angry about why he's still there on the coaching staff. I mean, I'll take it, but again, it does seem like a little weird that they haven't canned Matt Canada and then I know Mike Tomlin had some quotes earlier on, or not earlier on, but like in the media, that he said that he thought that Matt Canada got better as the season rolled on. So maybe they plan on sticking with him and keeping him around for next season, which again would not make Steeler fans very happy. But I guess we'll see how that goes. And that leaves us with the Cleveland Browns finishing last in the AFC North with a 7-10 record. This seems just to be an organization and a team that can't get out of their own way. However, they did fire their much maligned defensive coordinator Joe Woods on Black Monday, but Houston has their first round pick, which is 12th overall. Jack Duffin on Twitter, he's a great Twitter follow if you want to know about Browns cap space. He is projecting the Browns to have a little over $36 million in cap space after some cuts are made and some deals are restructured. That makes kind of sense. He explains it all in his tweets that he expects the Browns to have a little bit over $36 million in cap space, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Kareem Hunt seems like he's out the door, especially with the organization drafting a running back and his request for an extension that was denied, and then a trade request that was also denied this last offseason. So the Kareem, the Chunt combo seems to be like it's not going to be a thing in Cleveland anymore, which is a shame because you have these two great starting caliber running backs, and they weren't really able to really do a whole lot as far as making an impact, even with that great running back tandem. And I guess that's going to go away with just the one playoff win in their belt, which is, you think you have a running back squad like that, and you might be able to work some magic with them beyond just, again, one playoff victory. But I guess that's how life goes, and I guess I'll just be happy that I got to saw it while they were still here. I think all in all, even though I did mention the $36 million in cap space, obviously the Browns are going to make moves in the draft still in free agency. I think that this organization has put a lot of their they put a lot of eggs in the Deshaun Watson basket, which to me is a bit concerning and a bit scary, because he did start terrible and he did get better than terrible. But I do feel like that any claims of him being a franchise quarterback is still hinging on believing that he can get back to what he was performing like in 2020. And over the last 6 games, I didn't see much of that, even though he did get better, but I didn't see that really return to form that everybody was telling me was going to happen. Maybe that will happen with another offseason and a full slate of now 17 games for him to play. But again, that's all just kind of based on grasping back and trying to see that, he is going to get back to where he was before he was suspended for, the horrible stuff that he's alleged to do. I still am a little wary of why the Browns were able to they were willing to give so much for someone who not only just on the field issues of not playing for so long, but someone with so much baggage, and you knew it was going to be a terrible negative PR move. And I guess the NFL eventually is going to they're going to do their PR thing and say what they're going to say, but the fact is that these were still issues that the Browns knew they were getting into. It's not like it was a secret before the Browns traded for him. They knew what was going on, but it was they're hitching their wagon to him, and they're riding with him wherever it goes, I guess. So that was pretty much the AFC North and where it leaves off after Week 18. Let me know if you like this video. Let me say down in the comments what you thought was, maybe you did something happen for the AFC North that you didn't expect. You can let me know that down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you didn't make it this far, I will see you at the next one.